So just last week I was telling you about Bless. Bless is a new discipleship group that we're launching in a matter of weeks' time to really look at what following Jesus looks like for us. And I have a group of people that we walk with as we all try to follow Jesus together. It's launching on a Tuesday lunchtime on the 21st of September, and on a Thursday evening for a different group of people from the 23rd. They're two different groups. They're going to be both on site and online, so that if you're not able to physically gather but would still love to be part of that group, we will make it work, and we would love you to be part of it. Bless is an acronym and it stands for being with Jesus and being his representatives, being loved by Jesus and being loving in his name, being empowered by Jesus and empowering others with the gifts that the Spirit gives, being sacrificial, being willing to give to the ministry and the mission of Jesus, and living in the awareness that we are being sent by Jesus. Now, what's it going to look like? Well, depending on the size of the group, we'll either be meeting here in my home or down in the church lounge in Bethel and online as well. And we're going to be delving into the scriptures together. We're going to be trying to watch how Jesus does it. I don't know about you, but I long to be more like Jesus. Sometimes I respond to something or react to something, and it's only later that I think Jesus would not have done that. You know, as a teenager, we had those wristbands that we wore, didn't we, that really we should still wear. What would Jesus do? And the idea was to carry it with you, so that in every given situation, as often as you check your watch, you think, what would Jesus be doing? Well, this group is going to be all about that, looking into Jesus, his teaching, his life, his example, his power, and seeking to be like him in our lives. Now, I'm aware, as I'm sure you are, that the gulf from where I am to where Jesus is, from where I find myself to that place in the kingdom where my agenda, my ambition is subsumed and saturated by the kingdoms, is a long way. It's not a couple of steps. It's going to be a lifetime worth of journeying and searching and discerning. But I do think it takes a group, it takes a team, it takes deep friendship. And so, as well as studying the scriptures together, I want to invite us to make a couple of core commitments. The first is the commitment to show up, to attend, to, in this season, as we're coming out of lockdown and really thinking about how the church all fits back together, to have discipleship at the core of what it means to be church. One of the core things about the Great Commission is that we're sent to make disciples, not just believers, not just Christians, but disciples of Jesus. And so we need to make that commitment to make our spiritual growth a real priority and a real focus. So that's the first commitment, to show up. The second commitment is to step up. If the first one is about attending, the second one is about attempting. Somebody once said rather brilliantly that if we only do what we've always done, we'll only be where we've always been. So it'll take a commitment to try new things as we study the word together and really get to share about what that might look like, to make a commitment in the time in between the groups, whether that's a week or 2 weeks, to have a go, to step up, to try and walk in what we've been learning about together, to activate our learning. Discipleship is more than just knowing about Jesus. The Chinese have a saying, if you're not doing it, you don't know it. And I really want to drill down into what it means to do it, to do the kingdom stuff, to do the Jesus life in our lives. And the third commitment is to stand up. To stand up in prayer, to commit to pray for our own growth and our own discipleship, and those in the group and those in the church. So three core commitments, which are really about trying to pick up healthy habits in our discipleship. And there's another part of that group, there's another three commitments, which are about shedding some bad habits. The first is about dropping the excuses, about walking in truth And that starts between us and God, about just being honest about some of our struggles, some of our battles, some of our temptations, some of our fears, some of our doubts, and dropping the excuses. Secondly, it's going to take a commitment to drop the mask, to be honest then with each other about places where this is hard, people that we struggle with, issues that we battle through, places where we feel really self-conscious or embarrassed, or just things that we find difficult, opening up. And there's something really powerful about opening a scar, a wound to somebody, and hearing how they have been through something similar, and their experience, their wisdom, or their empathy, their strength as they come alongside us and stand with us and hold up our arms in prayer. But people can't do that until they know. A doctor can't offer you any assistance until you're willing to go and say, I've got this issue, I've got this problem. So dropping the excuses, then dropping the masks. And thirdly, a commitment to drop the barriers, a willingness to not just speak the truth about ourselves, but for others to be able to speak truth into our lives, and have the invitation to speak truth into somebody else's life. John tells us that if we walk in the light as he is in the light, we have fellowship with one another, and the blood of Jesus, his son, cleanses us from all sin. He calls us to light fellowship, not light in terms of commitment, because this takes a big commitment, but light in terms of trying to shed the shadows, the closets, the hidden places from our lives, dropping the barriers, and inviting people, would you speak truth to me, because I have blind spots that I need to see, and vice versa. Would you hold up the mirror to me as I seek to hold up the mirror to you in love, that we might become more like Jesus together, and that we might walk together in the light as he is in the light. So that's what it's going to look like, gathering together, sharing friendship, sharing deep conversation together about Jesus, and about what it's like to try and walk in that, some of the successes as well as the struggles, some of the challenges that we can try together, and looking to support one another in that. It's not going to be too prescriptive, I'll be suggesting some things that we could all try together, but there will be space for us to personalize that, because I'm really keen that it is Jesus that does the discipling, that it's not a copy of Jesus that we become like, but Jesus himself. And so learning to listen to the word and listen to the Spirit, and listen to the call of Jesus will be really key. I'm really hoping and praying that is a vibrant, vital group for us. It'll change our lives if we commit to this journey together. So, who's with me? If you're in, then let me know. I would love to share. I'd love to talk more with you about it, and love to see where Jesus leads us. God bless.